Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new playthrough. This time, as you know by the introduction and by the board you're seeing, we're going to be playing Townsfolk Tussle. This is a game I've been waiting for a long time. I did a playthrough of this when it was on Tabletop Simulator, and it is a boss battler. And we're going to play this. What I like about this game, like one of my favorite games of all time, I played a ton of it, is Kingdom Death Monster. I have almost everything for it, and I remember 2 years ago, or no, 3 years ago now, well, it's been that long, at Board Game Geek Con, myself and some friends did a marathon of Kingdom Death Monster, and I always thought, wouldn't it be fun to have that boss battling mechanic, less the, well, I don't even know if this is true. I was going to say less all the base building and everything that you do, like with your community and Kingdom Death Monster. I like both of them, but I always say, man, I want to get that fixed, but with something a little shorter. And this is it. This is like a one, you play through the scenario, you play against a couple different bosses, and then you're done. It's not an ongoing campaign. So that makes it rather interesting. Mechanically, it's also quite good. It's a little different than, and in some ways simpler than Kingdom Death Monster, which is fine. And I love the artwork and the theme and everything that goes around this. So basically, what you're looking at here is a map of the Hoselands, which is where your town is, the town of Eureka Springs. Everything in there is, well, with the exception of the Evil Wood, most things are named after like water type things, Beformia and Sprinkle Falls and Eureka Springs, and we're going to be in Eureka Springs, which you can see is this town right here near the Evil Woods. It's really bad. You could do a role-playing game in this, I guess, but we're going to be playing in the Hoselands, and there's a story behind this, and some really unique characters. I'm going to liken the artwork, the closest thing I can think of, and the games are not at all related or similar, is Cuphead. And Cuphead is kind of like after the old, very old cartoons. I don't remember what the era was necessarily, but some of the Disney, like the old Mickey Mouse cartoons had this look, and some other cartoons had this look. It's really cool. But anyway, I'm going to start with a bit of an introduction. We're going to go into just a few mechanics, because there's some things we have to do in setup that I wanted to do with you. And we will get started in a game of Townsfolk Tussle. Now, I completely randomly picked my characters already, and I'm playing blind on who the bosses that we're going to battle are going to be. There's going to be 4 of them that we take on in the game, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. We're going to start right away with the little introductions, very brief, and then we're going to get into some mechanics. Oh no! Say it ain't so! The sheriff of Eureka Springs has been murdered! With no one guarding its gates, ruffians are coming in droves to take advantage of the defenseless town. Is this the end of Eureka Springs? Of course not! In Townsfolk Tussle, you know what I'm saying? We'll be playing as a ragtag group of townfolks doing their civic duty to wall up these troublemakers into oblivion. And who knows, one of you may prove worthy of becoming the new sheriff along the way. Will you be able to overcome the odds and defend Eureka Springs with certainty? We certainly hope so. So that's basically the story, though I didn't read it as cool as I would have liked to. And we're going to be playing through that story on this wonderful board here. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the mechanics of the game. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go through a town phase where I think it's on the back of the book. It is. Yeah. Okay. And it's also in the game, on the game itself, like on the game board. But basically, we're going to go through a town phase. During that, we're going to flip the sideboard, which I already have flipped. And here it is. And you can see up at the top, it tells you what to do during the town phase. We're going to draw back up to our 3 feats now. We don't have feats yet, so that's going to be one of the first things we're going to do is draw feats. And these feats are going to dictate some objectives for each of our characters during the game. And some of them, and basically the one who gets the most feats at the end of the game is the one that's crowned sheriff. So it says each town folks will draw back up to 3 feet in the first town phase. Simply draw 3 feet, which I already suggested and talked about. Each townfolk receives and resolves a town event. Then we get to go shopping with the peddler. And then we get to equip our gear. Now, one of the things I didn't do quite yet is give everybody their money. Everybody has 10 gold. I'll deal with that as we buy things. I don't want to spread out 10 gold and then just be shuffling money around on the table. But that's what we're going to do. So, as you saw, first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a bunch of feats. And this is the feat deck. It is rather large. And lots and lots of feats in it. Now, some of them I think it's the town events that have secrets, so I'm not going to worry about that. But we are going to draw these and have some fun with this. This is going to be a blast. This game is super cool. Anyway, this is our feat deck right here. But before we get to our feats, I thought I'd introduce us to our cast of characters. This is Norman Fishboy, the enticing fisherman. Now, there's a story on the back of his board. I'll let you read that on your own someday. Maybe I'll post them. I don't know. But anyway, we have certain stats here. We have our health, our movement, our moxie, and our accuracy. Now, accuracy is we're going to roll a d10 to hit. And based on this number, we're going to reduce or increase our die roll to match the attack value. As you can see, ACC. So right now, like Fishboy, he's pretty good. He's got a +2. He's got a 2. So he's going to roll a d10. He's going to add 2 to it. So he really needs a 4 or better to hit. That's pretty cool out of the gate. Now, if you get into the minuses, that's obviously not good. Okay, and then Moxie is what we have to spend. Like, if he uses this cool, reliable fishing rod weapon that he's got, he's only got 2 Moxie. That's the only thing he's going to be able to do with his Moxie that turn. And then, of course, movement is how much you move, and that's going to go up and down during the game. And 3 is his health. There will be a red marker. You can see where to go. It was on the board. I thought I had the red marker on the board. I guess it moved. We'll have to find it. But there's a red marker also that will track when he takes damage. He can only take that many damage. So then he's out. So anyway, you get the idea. And he's got 2 special abilities. One is lengthy limbs. Thanks to Norman's long arms, he gains +2 range with all melee weapons. So the cool thing about his reliable rod, which is a 2-handed melee weapon, is it's got a range of 2. And that's pretty neat. And then he says, a strange attraction. Sorry, not he says, but this is his other ability, strange attraction. When you hit a ruffian with any weapon, you may pull them up to 2 squares towards you. That's pretty cool. So you can draw him in. He's a fisherman, right? Makes some sense. He's also got this card here, his fishy cap. For 2 mocks, he can sling a fish at the ruffian within 4 squares for 2 damage. You must be adjacent to the town pond, murky moat, or wishing well, usable once per fight. So once per fight, he can just swing it away for 2 mocks and do 2 damage. It looks like it can be anywhere within 4 squares as long as he's near those things. That's pretty cool. And that's it. You look on the bottom of the board, it says what he starts with. It says starting gear, reliable fishing rod, and fishy cap. And here is his wonderful miniature, which I can't wait to paint these. They're super, super nice miniatures. I really love them. Fit the characters very well. That is our first character. And of course, we're going to draw 3. Before we get to do anything, we're going to draw 3 of these cards. So we're going to go 1. I'll just draw them from anywhere. 2. And let's cut it again and say, whoop, I'm about to lose that whole deck. That'd be bad. Okay, 3. There we go. Let's see what he got. He got Magician. Have your townfolk removed from the board without being knocked out. That might be really, really hard to do because it's 1 point +3 gold or 1 damage to the ruffian. That's not bad. Gear deprived. If a ruffian action causes a piece of gear to be discarded or equipped, achieve this feat. That's pretty simple, right? That's pretty simple. If you achieve this, +3 coins or +2 movement this fight. Gives you 1 point. And then 0 points, but this one's going to have something easy probably. If you are healed by another townfolk, achieve this feat. So very simple. It doesn't give us any points toward the end game, but if you achieve this, you get 2 gold and or +1 movement fight. So those are Fishboy's, Norman Fishboy's feats that he has to achieve during this battle. This battle only. And then, he'll draw up to, that could carry over depending on the next round and how many he accomplished, right? Because we'll always have up to 3 in our fight. Now, when I played this before on Tabletop Simulator, I did play Norman Fishboy, but I did not play, I don't think Henlo Bulwark was even available, I don't remember. But this is the Paranoid Law Dodger, Henlo Bulwark. Obviously, she is a chicken. And you can see here that she's got, again, 3 health, She's got 5 movement. She's a mover. She's a mover. She can hustle. 2 moxie and but not a very good -1 on her aim accuracy. She's got a wheat sickle, requires 5+ to hit, and requires 1 mox, does 1 damage. But you know, she's not going to hit with that very often at her current rate. And she's got the farmer's overalls. She can add +1 to terrain rolls and an additional +1 to rolls on the overgrown cornfield or Heidi haystack. What that means is the terrain often has things it will do, and things that you can do while you're on it in a dice roll, similar and very similar to Kingdom Death Monster, but sometimes more comical, sometimes less comical. Actually, there's a lot of funky things that can happen in Kingdom Death, but I'm going to make a lot of references between the two because they have some similarities, so they're not the same game, and I want to be clear on that. But anyway, I'm just giving this a quick shuffle. We'll draw 1 here, cut, draw 1. We're just going to keep doing it that way because I don't know if I shuffled these enough, so we're going to make sure it's as random as it can be. What do we got? Altruistic do-gooder. Pay 7 coins at any time to achieve this feat. Just pay 7 coins. Get a coin back, +1 movement for the fight, and you gain that. So, you know, it might be that Henlo doesn't buy anything this turn. Maybe she just does that, because we'll have 10 coins to start with. +1 movement for the whole fight. That's not bad. Okay, personally trigger a Ruffian's breaking point. Now, that I'll explain to you when we fight a Ruffian. They have breaking points, which trigger them using more abilities. That's 1 point, 4 coins, or +1 damage for the fight. And then safety first, but be the only town folks at max HP during a fight. That's interesting, because at the beginning, so the others would have to take damage and she wouldn't. Got it. So, okay. I was like, that's weird. Okay, anyway, +3 coins and +1 mox, which is really good. So that is Henlo. Now her 2 special abilities are pinch provisions, 2 mox, restore 1 HP to an adjacent townfolk. Now, she wouldn't know, like, these are not common knowledge. These are kept to yourself. So, for example, Norman Fishboy has this this one here, cherished if you are healed by another player. Well, Henlo has a healing ability. So I'm going to play like, obviously I don't know what those are, and if there was a point where Henlo needed to heal Norman, that would help him with his feet. And then Headless Chicken. The first time you would be knocked out per fight, you survive with 1 hit point and place yourself adjacent to another townfolk. This does not count as getting knocked out. So you can get your head knocked out. You know, that's nasty, but you get the idea. Anyway, that's Henlo Bulwark. And then last but not least, we have Georgie Iron Gun. Now, I didn't even realize what this character was. This is an expired royal. In other words, you can see it's a cow, but he's dead, and some creature is infecting him, okay? This is him, all right? This is really great. This is a really cool character. Anyway, again, a movement, health of 3, movement of 4, moxie of 4, and a not-so-good accuracy of -1. He starts with his dad's head hammer. I'm going to guess that's really his dad. I just got to go with that. It's going to cost 3 mox to swing, 5 accuracy, but it does 2 damage. So he needs 6s to hit. It's not really that good, but it's on D10, so you know there's still a good chance. And then he's got stale cake. You can consume it to discard the stale cake and restore a hit point. But he's got some special abilities because he's kind of some weird, mouthy, dead thing. Leftovers, consumables you consume do not need to be discarded on use, but they can only be used once per fight. So I don't have to get rid of the stale cake if I don't want to. And he's got Quick Trotter. For 2 mox, move up to 4 squares in a straight line. It must be exactly 4 squares. So those are his 2 cool abilities, and he's this weird creature. But let's see if we can get some complimentary feats for him. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully we get something that we'll like. Now that's going to be it for the feats for right now, so we'll just put those back. We won't need those until the next round. Careful planning. Complete a fight without changing your equipped gear. That might be easy this first fight. It might be very easy depending on what we go into with equipped gear. Right. Bad break. This is 0, but take damage from a ruffian action when the target is none or the targets multiple townsfolk. You just don't get lucky. It's 0 points, but you get +2 coins or 1 damage to the ruffian. Learn from your mistakes. If you roll a 2 or lower when attacking the ruffian, achieve this feat. That's going to happen, right? 1 point, +2 coins, and +2 accuracy this fight. I love it. Now, I'm going to leave those face up because there's really no reason not to. I know what they are, but I'm going to play like I really don't know what they are. Okay. So what happens next in the town phase? We have drawn back up to 3 feet. Now we're going to resolve a town event. Okay, well here is our town event deck. It's rather large, and again, it needs some shuffling. But we're going to draw 1 for each of them, and we're going to resolve them in what we call buying order, which means Henlo, in the order of that is up there it's up on the corner of the board. We'll show this in a minute, but basically when you're buying in the town phase, you're going to go bottom to top, and then when you're in the beating order, which means in the fight, you're going to go top to bottom, and who goes when. So Henlo Bulwark is the last character who will go in a fight round, so she's the first character to go in this round, or when buying things. So she's going to have first choice, first crack at the gear, and we'll see. So anyway, I've shuffled this up, but we're going to do a couple other shuffles. We're going to draw an event. This will be for Norman. That'll be for Henlo, and there's a lot of events in here, so you can see the replayability is pretty tremendous. I'm going to put those back in the box. The storage, by the way, is also very nice. It's a little wonky. You have to figure it out at first, but it's nice. Okay, let's go, since Henlo's first, let's go with this. See what it says. Now, secret. Now, maybe I'll keep this a secret. You've seen it, but I'm going to keep it a secret and read it off screen. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, oh, another secret, Rusty's pistol. I'll tell you what, I'll read you Norman Fish Boys. Here we go. Rusty pistol. You find a corroded old pistol in the mud. Looks like it might be good for 1 more shot. Keep this card face down in front of you. You may reveal it at any time. When you do, roll on a 3+, you do 1 damage to the Ruffian, discard it. Okay, we'll just put that in the corner there. We'll just look at them all, since 2 of them are secrets. It's kind of silly. Accidental avalanche. You were tossing some rocks down a hill and accidentally caused a small avalanche. Some of the terrain looks damaged. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Keep this face down in front of you. The next time another townfolk interacts with a non-final fight terrain piece, reveal this card. Cancel the interaction. The activation cost is still considered paid. The terrain can no longer be activated. Discard this card. That's really bad. Is this one also a secret? Hey, one that's actually not a secret. So this one would happen right now in the game. The other 2 will happen when they happen, and I'm going to have to keep track of Henlo's for when someone first gets to a terrain. It's not going to work. Okay, if you're playing with 2 townsfolk, ignore the town event and draw another. We're not. You take a quick nap and wake up feeling refreshed. Wait, where did everyone go? Do not place yourself on the landscape at the start of the next fight. After the Ruffian takes damage, place yourself in the bottom left corner of the landscape. You gain +2 movement, +1 accuracy for the fight. Good job, Georgie Iron Gun. Decided to take an undead nap at the beginning of the battle, so we're just going to have 2 people on the fight, right? That's not cool. So I'm just going to make those adjustments for Georgie right now. He's going to get, what did it say? He's going to get +2 movement. That, man, he is a moving machine. He's now moving at 6. And +1 accuracy. Now he no longer has an accuracy penalty. That is actually cool, though we're not going to start the fight right away. All right, so what happens next? Well, now we're going to buy stuff. Now remember, everybody's got 10 coins. You just remember that. And we have a stack of stuff over there. We're going to lay them out. Now, by the way, if you haven't noticed, these decks are rather large. There's a lot of stuff. So I have them in 3 piles right now. We're just going to draw a couple from each. So we'll draw one here. We've got Biv and Vic's toy chest. We won't be able to buy that. Boom Boom Brew. Let's see. Yeah, we'll draw 2 more from here, right? We got Lemonade. That's only 5. That's purchasable. We got Jammed Trunk. We'll see what all these do in a minute. Let's get them out on the board. We'll take the middle deck now. We'll draw a couple from there. Draw 3. Looks like 3s would be good. The Sure Shot Crossbow, man, that would be nice to have, but I doubt we're going to get it. Fancy Joggers. The Big Barrel, 15. We're not getting that one. The Magician's Top Hat, possible. Wait, we're going to stop there. We're going to draw from the last deck just to spread the wealth here. Let's see what we get here. We're going to get the Fiery Stick. That's 14. We're not getting that one, are we? And then Craggy Trousers. Okay, well, so let's eliminate the ones we know we can't buy. So we can't buy this one, can't buy this one, or this one. We don't have the ability to do that. All right, so those are out of the running. Those will go into a discard. We'll just put them aside for right now. But let's take a look at the Lemonade. What's Lemonade do? For 5, we can consume this, discard the Lemonade, and restore 3 hit points to yourself or an adjacent townfolk. That's good. Now remember, Henlo is the first one to purchase. So we're going to take a look at all these. And she's going to buy first, followed by Norman, followed by Georgie. Boom Boom Brew. Consume, discard the Boom Boom Brew. At the start of your next turn, deal 3 damage to yourself and all characters within 3 squares. I get the value of that, though I doubt we'll buy it. Okay, Jam Trunk. Once per fight, prevent all damage dealt to you or an adjacent townfolk from Ruffian action. 3 mocks, discard the Jam Trunk, receive the first card from the Peddler deck. That could be anything. That could be very valuable, could be not very valuable. Fancy Joggers, +1 movement. You may use mocks to pay for movement. That's pretty good. I like that. And I love the artwork. I hope you do too. I think this artwork is fantastic. Magician's Top Hat. It's headgear. 1 mocks, roll on an 8+. Remove yourself from the board. Oh, somebody had a thing for this. Return to the board adjacent to the Ruffian at the start of your next turn. I got to remember who had a feat for that. Somebody had a feat specifically for that. They may want that item. And then the Craggy Trousers are 10 exactly, so it costs somebody everything. +2 max hit points, -1 movement. Those are all pretty good, except for the Boom Boom Brew. I don't think anybody's going to buy that. We'll leave it here for a minute. And I want to see who had that thing about the Magician. That's what it was. It's Norman Fishboy, but he's already got a hat. And his hat does damage. But man, that would give him a feat to do that. How often is that going to come up? So it cost 8, so he would only be left with 2 coins. But is that bad? I don't know the answer to that. Is that bad? So anyway, Henlo's going to go first. And I think that Henlo, doesn't she have the thing about not spending any money? No. Yeah, she does. Safety first? Nope. Provoker? Personnel? Yeah. Altruistic do-gooder. Right. That's the one that if she pays 7 coins at any time, she can get that feat. Maybe that's not the feat for this round, because there's stuff, and it's valuable stuff. I think she might take that lemonade, and yeah, she doesn't have an item in her accessory stack, so I think she's going to buy the lemonade. That's it. She'll just buy the lemonade. She could buy both the Boom Boom Brew and lemonade, but that Boom Boom Brew isn't valuable with these characters, I don't think. So we'll do that. That gives her a healing. Now she can heal herself, or no, she can heal with. What was her ability to heal? The Farmer's Overalls? No, she had an ability to heal, right? I thought. Pinch Provisions. 2 mocks restore 1 hit point to an adjacent townfolk. So that doesn't help her. Now she's got a way to heal herself. And that was 5. So she's going to have 5 left over. Those are her coins. Next up will be Fishboy. And I think we're going to do it. I think I'm going to replace, for this fight, his hat, his fish cap, which does damage, unfortunately, with this. But it cost him 8 coins, and we can swap out that headgear before we go into battle. We'll just have the other stuff in our inventory. So basically that's going to leave him with only a meager 2 coins left for the battle ahead, and hopefully we get some good coins that he can buy stuff next time. But that Magician's Top Hat is super cool, and it does require a roll of 8+. I mean, so there's some luck involved where this isn't, but if we can pull that off, then he can get that feat. Okay, and then last up we have Georgie, and I'm really believing. I'm looking through his feats again. Yeah, not changing his equipped gear, so we can buy nothing with him, or maybe we buy this, the Jammed Trunk. That's super good. It's 8 again though, but that's okay. I think we're going to buy that. Now I'm gonna look up this feat. I'm not sure how I feel about. I wonder though if this careful planning means that I can't change it now. Well, I guess it would mean I can't add this now. So does he buy anything? Well, if we don't buy this now, I don't have to equip it. But if we don't, and this is the fight to not equip it, because basically we go in an order of Chump, Hooligan, Troublemaker, and Final Fight, and the Chump is the easiest one to defeat. So the first one's going to be the easiest. I think we will buy this, but we're just going to put it in inventory. That's going to make us down to 2 gold right there out of our 10 starting gold. And unfortunately, the rest of these are going to go away. So, and we're going to enter the fight phase now. So, in the fight phase, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to flip this board over. Oh, we had a card in there. How'd that happen? Anyway, we're okay. There's so many cards, it doesn't matter. We're going to flip this over, and this is going to become the board for our fight. And one of the first things we're going to do is find out who we're going to fight, because that's going to dictate a whole lot of stuff at this point. Now, you can see it also has up here where it says reveal the next Ruffian on the town map and put them in first beaten order. That's fine. We got that covered. Set up the landscape. Place the terrain cards on the board. We'll do that. Then we're going to place the Ruffian card and action deck on this sideboard here. Then we're going to mark the Ruffian's health, movement, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, and then we're going to discard any unaccomplished feats. We're going to have all townsfolk receive 6 coins. We're going to award 1 town Ruffian. This is what happens at the end of the fight. We're going to do all those things. So that's not what's going to happen right now, but right now we're going to reveal our Ruffian. And I set these out. I randomize these later. I'm really hoping I get somebody really interesting for our first fight. Deputy Wagons. Deputy Wagons is going to be our first enemy to battle. Let's find Deputy Wagons and talk about him. So here are all the boards for the bad guys. I got them up here. There's so many. They're so cool. They really are just super cool. And there's Deputy Wagons. We're going to take a look at Deputy Wagons, and I'll show you how we're going to set that up, and then we'll do it. Okay, this is Deputy Wagons' first side. It talks about where he's at from a health and movement standpoint, which we're going to put on the board to the other side right there where it says Ruffian movement, Ruffian health. You can see that we're on the chump face, so he's got no special abilities. Playful pup. Nothing special about this lawman. Should be a cinch. And it says, the old sheriff took a liking to Wagons. The little pup was as loyal as the day was dopey. It was that perfect mix that qualified him as his right-hand man, while the sheriff could always rely on Wagons to do the job. He was never sure how well he'd do it. You see, Wagons never played dumb. He was dumb, and he loved to play. Without the sheriff's supervision, Wagons has made some new friends in town. The townfolk have warned him to stay away from these Ruffians, but they're just as playful and rowdy as he is. They even gave him these toy guns to play with, although they seem to have a mind of their own. So that is going to be Wagons. It's a little bit of his stuff there. He's got a weakness. It says malfunctioning revolver. Whenever Wagons takes an action, if a townfolk does not take damage by the end of that turn, by the end of that action, Wagons takes 1 damage. This triggers after the Ruffian's abilities trigger. And then here's the other side. This is the pacifying. Well, this is if he's in the final fight, but we do need to set this up. So we still have things on here, right? Everything here is for the final fight. But we do have to do this. And it tells me all the terrain that we have in the game that we're going to need to collect. It also tells us somewhere else. I'm trying to remember where that is on the board. Is it down here? No, Ruffian gear reward. There's somewhere on here. I'm trying to remember where on the board it tells us what the terrain is that he gets. Anyway, we're not going to do the final fight. Oh, terrain. No, that's not right. Anyway, we know what the terrain is. It's all right here. This is where all of our characters start. And we're going to set up the board to deal with the Ruffian. And I'll show you his miniature right now. They're all the miniatures are fabulous, but we're going to get out. Let's see, where is he? Deputy Wagons. There he is. Here is Deputy Wagons. Yeah, we're going to deal with him right now. Anyway, let's. I'm going to set up the board. We're going to get the fight phase actions set up, and we're going to get going. All right, so here is our sideboard. This is Deputy Wagons' action deck, and we're going to shuffle that up real good. So it's there on the board, and you can see I have his board out with the cool artwork of Deputy Wagons, and then I got his. I put him in red. Normally you use the black ones on here, but I put him in red because they're easier to see. He's got 6 movement and 14 health against 3 players, and that's what we're playing with. So, of course, when you get to look at the board, I do not have Georgie out on the board because of his sleeping inability. But I think that bonus is worth it. We can just kind of stay out the way. And also, I have the characters set up per the setup board where they can go. There's different places they can go. You'll see that in a minute. I'm just giving this a really healthy shuffle. Put that there. We will cut it one more time. And this will be the Deputy's action deck. Okay, now let's go take a look at the board. And also, you know what I do also need for there? I forgot to do this. I need, where's Deputy Wagons' token for the beating order? I got to find that as well. All right, now we're going to talk about our terrain and our All right, let's just tilt this up so they see the whole board. See, all our terrain is already out there. We got wagons on the board. We got our 2 characters that are currently out on the board. We're going to have these things. So we're going to have a deserted picnic. For feature 1 mocks, we can scavenge for goodies. On a roll 1 to 6, we find nothing. But on a 7, something was left behind. Receive the first card from the peddler's deck worth 9 coins or less. You may equip it immediately. Remove the picnic. The Mushroom Grove. I mean, we can kind of leave these for a surprise, I guess. We have the Mushroom Grove. A haystack. There's stuff in the haystack, of course. The vegetable patch. It's a feature. Once per fight, each townfolk may end their turn inside the vegetable patch and restore 1 health. We can grab some vegetables. The overgrown cornfield has some stuff in it. Cross that bridge when we come to it. The wishing well is cool. It has some stuff in it. And by the way, we can interact with the wooden fence. We can break it down or hop over it. So we have a couple things we can do. Basically, breaking it down removes it from the board. I don't know that we'll need to do that in this fight. It depends. We'll see. It probably could be related to a feat or something, right? Where we want to break it down. But anyway, that is it. So we can get... I think I'll do... In this video, it's kind of a long video. I think I'll do 1 fight round for y'all. And we'll get going. All right, for the first thing that's going to happen, if you look at the turn order for the fight rounds, which is right here, we flip the sideboard. We're going to do that. We're going to reveal the next Ruffian. We've done that. Place the Ruffian card, we've done that. Then use the back of the Ruffian to set up the card, we've done that. And then the fight begins with the Ruffian's turn. So we're going to start by drawing the first of Deputy Wagham's cards. Play fetch. Wagham grabs your gear and goes for a run. Target the closest townfolk, that's Henlo. Outside of a terrain piece, so that is both of them, but she's the closest one. If none, move Wagham's completely into the vegetable patch and immediate end the action. Okay, well, there are people who didn't start in any of the terrain, so move towards the target. If Wagham's reaches the target, deal 1 damage. After effect, Wagham's runs off with your wares. The target unequips a piece of gear of your choice that cannot be equipped the rest of the game. Okay, well, that's not going to be good, but Wagham's has a movement of 6, so Wagham's all he has to do is move 1 forward to accomplish this. Unfortunately, Miss Henlo is going to take a damage, so I just put the red marker on her. We'll look at that in a moment. And then we're going to unequip something of hers, and that is going to be the end of Wagham's turn. But let's take a look at it. So, let's see. We didn't do any of these things, so that's not going to... I'm going to keep looking at those. And also, I've got to remember their events, but we'll get there. Okay, I think that... We know we got a damage already. That's not great. So I don't want to get rid of the lemonade, but the farmer's overalls add +1 to your terrain rolls. That's so good. But what do I unequip? I think it's going to have to be the overalls. Ah, that's such a bummer, right? Add 1 additional roll in the overgrown cornfield. That's even better. Do I get rid of the lemonade and hope that we can heal some other way? I guess so. We're going to unequip the lemonade. I'm just going to flip it over to show that it's unequipped because I don't have enough space. But, okay, that was Wagham's turn. Now we're going to go to our characters' turns and see what we get done here. Now obviously there is a ton of stuff you want to do in the game, like check the terrain, get more stuff, all that good things. But we know that we got to defeat the enemy. That is the first and foremost. So I'm going to grab some of the 10-sided die. In fact, I'll grab all of them. We'll get them ready for play out here. And then, so in beating order, right now we would go to George Iron Gun, but he's not there. Let's see, when does he come in at this point? Do not place yourself on the landscape tile to start the next fight. After the Ruffian takes damage, place yourself. So we got to do damage. So we're going to skip Georgie Iron Gun's turn completely, and then we're going to go to Norman Fishboy. Well, Norman Fishboy can be 2 away and still attack. I think we're going to try to do that. And I want to just check something. I think you're allowed to, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while. It's been a while, guys. I'm playing again. But I do think with movement, you can move, attack, move, as long as you don't go over your movement. I'm going to double check that in the rules. All right, let's see here. Let me look it up. Moving can be split. So we're going to go 1, 2. And we're going to use the reliable rod with a 6. Now remember, he's got a 2 accuracy, so we got a 6 to hit for 1 damage. We're going to take a roll. That is going to cost us both of our moxie for the turn, so that's all we're going to get to do, but we're going to do a little more movement. So we're going to go a 6 is going to hit because that's what we needed. Anyway, we're going to go 2. That's an 8. Now, I do want to say, if you roll that is a critical hit and you do more stuff. But we did, with the reliable rod, we did hit Wagons for 1 point of damage. So, Mr. Wagons, you're down to 13. Now, that red mark there is a break point. So, it is quite possible that I think it's Henlo wants to make that happen, right? Provoke or personally trigger a Ruffian's breakpoint. So I think she's probably going to want to do that, but we still have 2 movement points with Norman. Norman is actually going to move 1, 2 back to here because he wants to head, and he'll face that way. He wants to head into that cornfield if he can. He's worried about where the heck is Georgie. Well, we just took damage, or the enemy just took damage. So here comes Georgie. Now, what's it say on this card? I'm just going to have to remember. Do not place yourself in the fight after the Ruffian takes damage. Place yourself in the bottom left corner. So he's going to start way down over here. I got him on the board. You'll see him there in a minute. And we're going to keep going. So that marks the end of Norman Fishboy's turn. So you can see how easy this game is. So there's a subtle amount of complexity to it, which makes it really, really fun. Now remember, the reason I was able to attack from 2 away with Norman Fishboy is because of his lengthy limbs. He's got a +2 range with melee weapons. And it says when you hit a Ruffian with any weapon, you may pull them up to 2 squares. I intentionally did not choose to do that. I don't want to pull them up to 2 squares. I want to leave him where he is for right now. Okay, but now we're going to Henlo. Really, all Henlo can do, she's going to attack first. She's going to hit with her wheat sickle. Now, that cost 1 moxie. She's only got 2, so she would have 1 left. She could do something else, like maybe interact with the cornfield or something. We'll see. Because she does have her farmer's overalls. So I think what we'll do is we'll attack first for 1 mox and roll a die. Now in her case, she needs a 5, 6 because she has a -1 accuracy. So she rolled a 4. She missed. That's too bad. With 1 mox gone and no damage, but she does have her 5 movement. I think she's going to go 1. And let's look at the overgrown cornfield. If Townfolk begins their turn inside the overgrown cornfield, you must make a roll. That's fine. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to there. He's right in the middle of the cornfield. Might be protection. I don't know. I might be playing this terrible. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But there's something about the cornfield right here, right? Overgrown cornfield and Heidi haystack. We get +1 to terrain rolls and an additional +1 to rolls in this thing right here. And then I got to remember somebody's town event because I think it might have an impact when we roll. Yeah, the next time another townfolk interacts with a non-final fight terrain piece. Okay, well, that will probably be next turn. So that actually is the end of our turns. That was everybody's actions, including Deputy Wagons. Now, I'm going to leave it in a cliffhanger. We just got started, but this is where we're going to leave it. We're playing our first game of Townfolk Tussle. This game is so cool. I can't wait to see how this plays out. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you're going to enjoy the next set of games. We're going to have to keep careful track of our feats and our town events and stuff like that, but that makes it a lot of fun. I love the fact there's secret events. Like, you know, I'm sure I'm sure that somebody's wondering why where was it? Who was it? Henlo. No, I guess it was Norman. Why he didn't appear? No, his wasn't secret, though. But there's going to be some secret things, and like some of the feats are counterintuitive to some of the things you might want to do. Like, they're saying, Norman, why did you take off the fish hat and keep the magician hat? The fish hat does damage. The magician hat, I don't even know how good that's going to be. Well, because, right? We could have done it this turn. In fact, I probably should have at the end of his turn, but we'll save it for next round to make this turn a little shorter. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Can't wait for you to see how this plays out. Our first fight against Deputy Wagons. Now, in the next one, I'm going to complete the fight for Deputy Wagons. But because we did so much setup, I'm not going to go through all that setup every time. I just wanted to show you to you the first time. We'll kind of do an abridged version of that for every other Ruffian as we go up. But I wanted to start by showing that off. So I don't want this episode to be too long. So in the next fight, we will complete the fight with Deputy Wagons, win or lose, and we will go on to the next enemy. And then each enemy will be an entire episode. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.